Welcome back, guys. Overtime, episode 7, with senior and forward Daniel Clawson and Coach Austin Scott. They did have a game yesterday against not Conant, Geneva. At Geneva, was the drive far, and how did it go last night?
The drive was far. It's about 50 minutes
was
or so.
It?
I'm sure.
15, like almost an hour, yeah.
I'm sure they're asleep back there. But it was good for a while. It was a really close game, and then unfortunately we came out on the losing end. Geneva, for a Tuesday night, was bumping.
There were a lot of people.
Oh, it had to be like feeder night or something.
It was feeder night, but the place was rocking. Awesome gym, wide open, spread out gym, and they had some things going on. But it was the place to be in Geneva. I'll say that. Have to respect that.
So let's take it back a little bit to Meadows. So obviously Meadows is one of the best teams you guys have faced so far this season, and probably the best team you're going to face all season. Even though you lost, were you satisfied with some of the things your team did, or were you thinking they should have done more?
Well, I wouldn't say we were satisfied, but we were definitely very happy. So we started off the game, we were down 16-2, and then the second quarter we really bounced back and changed momentum. But then coming out of half, we just really lost our pride, and our defense just kind of fell, and that's kind of what happened in the second half.
Yeah, I think one of the people who's helpful to me in recognizing positive moments, even in areas of struggle or games of struggle, is Coach Rugg, and I think he did a great job, in our post-game speech, recognizing some of the things that we did really well, as Dan mentioned. Coming back from being down 16-2, they made their first 3 threes of the game that were all tough shots, and we bounced back and cut it to 2 in the first half. Yep. That said, I think, to play on the word you use, satisfied, I think we got a little satisfied being close, and we're unable to kind of push over that hump, which I think has kind of been a recurring theme that we have to address, is getting over that satisfaction and, not playing the scoreboard, but playing through, our consistent effort.
Definitely, yep. So near the end of the second quarter, Ben Randall, if you guys haven't seen it, I'll play right here in the video. He had an awesome dunk on Christie. What impact did that leave on the game, and then other plays following the rest of the game?
Well, I was just in complete shock, to be honest. I know Ben was missing a lot of dunks last year, and then this year he just comes out with dunking on Max Christie as one of his first dunks of the season. I know the crowd was really into it, and it was definitely a big momentum shift, because that was when we were trying to get over the hump of that run that Rolling Meadows got on us, and we were down by 4 after that, and that was a big momentum shift.
Yeah, we talked about at the beginning of the game there were going to be plays from both sides that were able to shift momentum. I'd be lying if I said I expected that to happen. That said, Max Christie is going to be a pro, I think. So does that stay in Ben Randall's camera role forever? 100%, absolutely. Did it have a deciding outcome on the game? No. So I think we need to, as fun and exciting as it was, I think we need to get over that a little bit and concentrate on winning games. That said, it was a really cool moment for Ben. Now I think it puts him on the map a little bit, so people recognize and know who he is. He's not unknown baller anymore. But that said, now that he has people watching him, he has to prove it all the time.
Yep. So he's got to win his game.
So hopefully that starts a little snowball effect for him in terms of going to the basket aggressively.
Definitely.
Was it confirmed that Christie's going to Duke, or is he?
No, he's still deciding. He has a variety of options. I think. I don't think he'll probably make his decision until next fall. That's generally how blue chips do it.
Yeah.
So,
as you guys know, you get another shot at Played Meadows in February, and this time at home. How much do you guys think being at home affects your gameplay and the game in general?
Well, I definitely think the game definitely gets more energetic, and we have the crowd to feed off of. But to be honest, home, it shouldn't really be an option for us to just turn it on a little bit more at home. We need to bring that same energy every game, whether it's home or away. We need to play our game, and and be the better team.
Yeah, I think home for me is just like it's just a comfort level is higher.
Yeah.
The rims that you practice on and shoot on every day. Mm-hmm. That said, all basketball hoops are 10 feet. So I don't see a huge difference in it. I think some of these guys, like when we had Clay on the show, I think he said he liked playing on the road a little bit more.
Yeah.
And kind of go against and be the bad guy. Mm-hmm. But, sometimes, these guys are able to do big things in a game. And, I know Dan likes to shoot his bow and arrow when he knocks down a 3 at home. So, he has that going for him as well.
So with that question being said, what is, Dan, is your favorite part playing with the rims that you're used to, or is there something else playing at home?
Well, I'm definitely much more comfortable playing at home because we're practicing on those rims every day. And, yeah, that's pretty much about it. It's just basically a comfort level for me.
Is that for you too, Coach Scott?
Yeah, I always enjoy, I think at home a lot more alumni sometimes come. Mm-hmm. I love to see them. I think that's an awesome thing for me, just to kind of show them where the program is going.
Yep.
But other than that, I get kind of locked in. I don't,
You don't really focus on that.
I don't really, it's not too much of a difference for me.
So with Wheeling coming up on Friday, they are a very solid team, but they don't have a star like the Christie brothers. Are you going to do anything differently or have a different play style on offense or defense against them?
Yeah, Wheeling is very athletic. They had a tremendous start to the season. They've lost, I think, 3 in a row now, but they're really capable and very talented. They're a lot like us, where they're long, athletic, a lot of drivers, but can also shoot as well. So we're going to have to be ready to play against their 1-3-1 a little bit, which is something that they mix in defensively. And we have to make sure our defensive rotations and our defensive assignments are sound in order to come out on top on Friday.
I like it.
Dan, you are one of the bigger and stronger guys on the team, being able to play post. However, you're also able to shoot, and you're one of the top guys from the three-point line this year. Do you consider yourself an all-around player, or do you think you have more of a specific role?
I would say I have more of a specific role, because coming in the season, Coach told me I should be running the rim, and since in the fall we put up tons of shots. I became so confident in my shot, so just those spot-up threes, I got really comfortable with. And then just attacking the glass hard, too. And, yeah. So I think I'm more of a role player, not an all-around player.
Okay. So, Dan, your future consists of playing baseball at NIU next year, which means you are still focusing on the upcoming season in the spring and playing next year in college. But you still need to manage the workouts and practices for basketball while still practicing for baseball. How hard is it doing that?
I wouldn't say it's hard. I got pretty comfortable doing it. But at first I prioritize basketball, and then baseball comes after that, since I'm in basketball right now.
Yeah.
So I usually try to get my lifts in either on Sunday or one day off, or I get it done before practice. And then getting my skill work in for baseball, I pretty much go at night or on Sunday when I have my day off.
I like it. So you got any more questions, Coach Scott, or else we're moving on to the favorite part?
Yeah, so I got one question that's actually baseball related. So being a 3-hitter, 4-hitter, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
People know who you are. When you step in the batter's box, do you always expect fastball first? Are you sitting dead red? I don't want to lean too much into your scouting.
Well, for me, I'm always sitting fastball, and I can adjust to the curveball.
So you're looking home run first pitch every time.
Yeah, first pitch, I'm looking for my pitch, and I'm going bombs away.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you're not take the first pitch, see where the release point is, check the spin kind of stuff.
Well, if there's no runners on, I'm all in. I'm going for the long ball.
Okay, but then you have to be a little more of a situational hitter with runners on.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's the best bunter on the Scouts baseball team?
On the Scouts
Or
baseball?
on the Huskies baseball team?
Definitely Luke Picchiotti laid down some good bunts last year. And AJ Cefalio was, I'd say, our best bunter last year, but he graduated.
Okay. I was always a huge bunt guy.
Were you?
Yeah.
Love
bunting.
No home runs?
No home runs. No doubles. I was just slap singles and bunts.
Bunts.
That's all I had.
All right, we're moving on to the unscripted. Everyone's favorite part. Dan, we got some spicy ones today. All right, so these first ones have been already said in the past podcast, but I got some new ones. So the first, if you had to pick out a walkout song, what would it be?
I know in baseball, I did Money Longer by Lil Uzi Vert. Okay. And I really like that song. That song really gets me going, so that's definitely my choice.
Lil Uzi Vert, where's he from?
I don't know.
I don't know where he's from.
Is he like Gucci Gang or something? He doesn't have affiliation? I don't know. I'm just making up. I'm making up terminology now.
All right, well, we'll move on to the next one. So, Dan, you're always eating a lot of fruit to keep your muscles in the tip-top shape.
Huge fruit guy.
Yeah, huge fruit guy.
Yes, sir.
So is that your pregame snack, or you have anything else, like you were saying, orange chicken? Or?
I always eat a ham and cheese sandwich before the game, and I usually mix in some grapes.
White bread or wheat bread?
I can go either one, but preferably wheat.
Green grapes or purple grapes?
Green grapes. I'm not a purple grapes guy.
Really?
And then a Honeycrisp apple.
Okay. What's your favorite low-key fruit? Like not like apples or bananas or oranges, but like one that Mrs. Claw has to like get specialty from, the store.
I'd say good strawberries are pretty rare.
Okay, good
Because
strawberries.
once they get mushy, they're horrible.
Okay, so you go after the berries. Huh? Do you peel the stems off, or you just eat the whole thing?
No, I'll eat the whole thing.
Wow.
Oh, God.
That is savage.
Yeah.
Man, that is a fun fact for the listeners.
Hey, who is the biggest trash talker on the team?
I wouldn't really have a trash talker, but the people that get the most chippy in practices are definitely Clay, Ebo, and Martin, in my opinion.
Okay. Well, Martin, the first one for that one. All right, we started this one with Scott, but who is your celebrity crush?
I have to go with Megan Fox from Transformers.
Megan Fox. Okay, so Stern said the same thing. Now, you guys say from Transformers. You can't like go back in time. It's got to be current. She can't stay like 19 forever. I mean, come on.
Well, she was in her prime then, so.
Okay.
And then Jennifer Aniston is also another favorite of mine.
But now or when she was on Friends?
I'm going to have to go when she was younger on Friends.
Man. Somewhere Jennifer Aniston and Megan Fox are going to be on a podcast. They'll be like, I only liked Dan Clawson when he was 16. You can't go back there. So it's tough. It's I don't know about you guys.
You got another one, or you want to keep yours?
I'm always Lauren Conrad.
Always,
you know that.
always.
You know that.
Who's that?
She's a former starlet of the Hills.
Have you never sent him a
Laguna
gift?
Beach. I'll send him a GIF right after this. That said, we had an interesting time yesterday at Geneva. We got there a little bit early, so we were watching the Palms team do their routine a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Great routine, tremendous turns. And some of these guys, I think, developed some crushes on the Geneva Palm squad. They were
that's
quick.
Not true.
They were quick to go out and get a drink of water and go to the bathroom as soon as they left the gym. I didn't monitor the behavior, but I guess sometimes what's unknown is most interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
Dan's spoken for though, so I don't want to.
All right. This is Megan Fox, so no Geneva cheerleaders either.
And
Ashley.
Yeah.
Shout out Ashley Zerlo.
All right. This is for Dan because we all know Coach Scott's answer for this one. But you're a Deshaun Watson fan. But after he lost the Chiefs, who do you want to win?
Come on, man.
Who do we got left? 49ers, Packers, Chiefs, and
Titans.
Definitely, I'd say the Titans. Derrick Henry's a beast right now.
That's such a
keep feeding the
whiteboard.
man the ball.
That's such a
and leave him
whiteboard
there.
answer. That's such a whiteboard answer.
Hey, Coach Scott actually had a lot of people come up ask me why you're a Packers fan. I'm like, I'll ask on the podcast. Are you a bandwagon fan, or are you?
Is that a serious question?
No, that's actually serious. Like, why are you a Packers?
Well, my dad was born in Racine, Wisconsin, so I grew up. He's a huge Packer fan, Badger fan.
Triple Sticks.
Shout out Triple Sticks. But I don't know. I've just always grown up a Packer fan.
Never Bears
Went to college in Wisconsin. They were easy to root for. I was a huge Brett Favre fan. Like some of my roommates in college, I thought I was a huge Packer fan until I went to school in Wisconsin. Like I have a college roommate who has multiple Brett Favre tattoos. Like, it's just
Oh
a way
my
of
God.
it's a way of life up there, man.
Oh, yeah,
like
it's different.
grown men like crying when they lost that NFC Championship game to the Giants, Favre's last game when he threw that interception. And then, you know, I love Favre, I love Rodgers, so
Okay.
you know, it just always been a huge Packer fan,
I like
but it's
it.
not a bandwagon thing.
Real fan.
I'm just a tiny bit offended from that question, you know. But you're the host, you know. You're like
I'm
Stephen
sorry, I'm
You're Stephen A. Smith. You're paid to create controversy.
Yeah.
Skip Bayless, Skip Hanson over here.
Skip answer. All right. Where am I? All right. This one could also cause some controversy with you and your brother. Who is a better athlete?
I know Ben's a little bit fast for me, but I definitely have the strength. And it's very close. Driveway 1-on-1, I'm always going to win. Football, I'll moss him. Like,
All right. So it's
so it can go either way.
Who's a better student?
Yeah. Better in classes.
Well, we both get our stuff done, and we both have good grades.
So if you guys are doing Jeopardy 1-on-1, academic decathlon, who's coming out on top? Just random
like
trivia.
history and stuff.
History, math, science, English, grammar.
Well, if he's good at history, he'll definitely beat me because I'm horrible at history, and I'm not that good at science either. But math, I'm pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, math stuff is my strength.
That's
Okay.
your subject. So the next one was going to be who wins in a game of 21. You're saying you.
Yeah, I definitely won a game of 21.
All right. So this is also a new one. Who is the best dressed on the team?
I think this is a lock. Dan,
Who are you going with?
Dan is in the conversation for best hair, but I'm
Yeah.
having
Thank
that
you,
as a
thank you.
separate entity.
Great compliment, thank you.
A lot of time and effort goes into that. That said, I think best dressed, Luke Martin.
Really?
Yes.
Hands down.
Yes. Sometimes
Oh, yeah,
rocks
he's
the-
definitely up there.
He's rocking like
Yeah.
the fashionable glasses. I don't know if there's like an actual prescription in there. Sometimes I think it's just a fashion statement. He's got the no-show socks with the Stan Smith shoes.
Oh, yeah, definitely Martin.
Tight pants. He's got the like
Oh my God.
Argyle tie, the floral tie with the checkers. He's got it all.
Really?
He's got it all down.
Yeah, I'd definitely go with Luke Martin.
I like that.
If you asked Ethan, though, he would definitely say himself.
He'd say himself.
I'd say I'm a big fan of Ethan's shoe game.
Ethan's
I
shoe
like
game's
his, I
hot.
like his shoe game.
Wolf's coat game is second to none. So it's just different attributes that guys. That guys
Wolf's
excel.
definitely Wolf's in second place.
Black
The
hoodie,
bubble
bubble coat.
tops it.
Hell yeah.
He rocks the all black look.
Yeah,
He loves that.
He's
all
like the
black.
Johnny Cash of high school
Yeah.
basketball.
Is Eber the one? Does he only have one pair of basketball shoes, or does he?
Oh, he's got some.
goes
yeah.
through different ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. This next one. This is for the entire team, including statisticians and coaches that you've driven with. But who is the worst driver that you've been in the car with?
Of our coaches.
Any players, coaches, if you've been in the car with them, or statisticians.
I'll have to go with James Nolan. He gives me a few scares.
Acura James.
Yes. There's been a few scares.
Okay,
Yeah, let's
interesting.
go with James.
Interesting. I've never driven with any
Never
of them,
been
so I
on 'em.
just sometimes I see him whipping around the parking lot, but I have the worst car on the team, so they all have like cars that like drive themselves at this point. The Boost Mobile, what is that? A Scion?
Yeah.
The
box,
It's a
the
box. It's a box.
All right. This one. Who do you or what do you think is the best box cookie in American history?
We talked about this
Yeah.
yesterday before the game.
Have to go with Oreos.
Oreos. Shout out
Yeah.
Matthew.
Definitely Oreos.
Another generic whiteboard answer.
Or fudge stripes. Fudge stripes are pretty
Oh,
good.
those
Fudge
are good.
stripes.
Coach.
I go if we're allowing Girl Scout cookies into the conversation, I go Samoas. If
Okay.
we're not, if we're just going like corporation packaged cookies, I go Nutter Butters. Ben Randall had a box of Nutter Butters yesterday.
Did he give you any?
Yeah, I had like 11. So I mean, that's definitely my favorite cookie. I'm a sucker for peanut butter.
Oh, and one more thing. Shout out the Mises. The Oreos
okay.
a staple in their household.
Oh yeah. All right. So let's say Coach Scotty said he's a huge bunter, but let's say he's never picked up a bat before, and he has to hit a dinger. What tips are you going to give him to the best hit a home run?
Squash the bug.
Really just tilt the shoulders and just swing as hard as you can and hope you get that ball in the barrel.
There you go.
Yeah.
I got one last unscripted question for Dan. As we know, it's Poetry Out Loud season at Hersey. I know Dan has to do a Poetry Out Loud performance in Miss Connell's class. Can you give us a dramatic reading of the first line of your Poetry Out Loud poem?
Wait. Okay, yeah, I remember the first line.
All right, let's hear it. Quiet on the set.
It's called Across the Bay by Donald Davy. Just the first line?
Just the first line.
A queer thing about those waters. There are no birds there. Or hardly any.
I love it.
That was great.
I love it.
I wish I
love
could,
it.
but I don't. All right, Coach Scott, you got any more questions for Dan? Or is that it? Or any shout-outs?
No, let's shout out Dan's GF, Ashley Zerlo. You guys are going on about a year and a half.
A year and a half on Friday, actually.
Oh, wow. Special anniversary shout out, Ashley Zerlo. She puts up with Dan, all these guys.
Baseball and basketball season.
You know, is always there supporting us at the games.
Yeah.
She's a cheerleader, Palms.
Yeah, cheerleader.
Cheerleader. Met her for the first time last month.
Did you?
Yeah, it's thrilling. So, you know, congratulations
Where'd
to
you
these
meet her?
two. She needed the keys for something. She had to open a door in the field house or something. Dan tried to not introduce me. I said, "What the heck, Dan?" You know?
On my part, I thought you knew her already.
Yeah, well, I thought wrong.
All right, that's it, guys, for Overtime episode 7, not 6, with Dan Clawson and Coach Austin Scott, Hersey Hoops. Thanks for coming in, guys, and we'll see you on Friday at Wheeling.
One more thing, the juniors are coming up on the podcast now. I'm going to mix in some of our assistant coaches to come in with them. So
is Ocon making an appearance?
Ocon will make an
Will you
appearance.
still be on? Or
No.
Will it be Ocon and then
It'll be Ocon and a guest, or Coach White
Risk
and a
Krug.
guest. Risk Krug, all right, the man, the myth. Maybe, Coach Rowley.
Are we throwing in Thakar? Is he getting that?
Thakar might get a spot. The second half of the season, we're going to throw a lot of curveballs.
All
A lot
right.
of curveballs. So, listeners, stay tuned. It could be exciting.
All right. Thank you for coming in, guys.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Absolutely.